Our third speaker happens to also be our guest speaker. The theme of the meeting is based on the spirit of his personality. If the Metro speaker's walls could talk, they'd be echoing about speeches of monkeys, mazes, and falling off a chair. He hasn't graced a Toastmasters stage in 5 years. But like a solar eclipse, he's back for one special night. So make sure you're paying attention to every word, because we never know when he's going to loop back around. He's come all the way here from a place I call home, the Wall Center. And I'm proud to say he's one of my best buds. He'll be doing an Icebreaker speech. Johnny, that means no buzzing off. His speech title is Serial Hobbyist. Ryan Reed, Serial Hobbyist, Ryan Reed.
They say a jack of all trades is a master of none. I have a lot of disdain for that saying. It implies you need to find one thing you're good at and put all of your time into perfecting it. But perfection doesn't leave much room for exploration. Toastmasters, guests, fellow hobbyists, I've been lovingly called a serial hobbyist. And I'm okay with that nickname, because it's true. I can't stay pinned down to one hobby for too long. I like to find something that excites me, dive really deep, really quickly, until one day, poof, I've completely lost interest and I've moved on to something new. How many hobbies does it take to be considered a serial hobbyist, you may ask? Well, let's find out. I've tried Photoshop, compositing, vlogging, even nude modeling. I've tried skateboarding, snowboarding, longboarding, surfing. I've played basketball, racquetball, ping pong, and rock climbing. I've explored my sexuality, virtual reality, and health kicks like counting calories. I've dabbled in drawing skills, painting skills, and let's not forget public speaking. Don't even get me started on books. I've tried reading them, writing them. I've wrote rap songs and poetry. I've created game pages, magazines, and let's not forget speeches. I've tried it all. What can I say? I'm a serial hobbyist. And as someone who's tried a bunch of different hobbies, many have come and many have gone. But a few have left something more meaningful than the hobby itself. Writing? Writing was a hobby I was fiercely passionate about, but also one I kept secret the longest. I would write stories, worlds about knights and castles, superheroes, and yeah, some cringy Harry Potter fan fiction. I was so embarrassed about liking to write that I would hide my stories under my bed, far too scared to show anyone. Until one day, we got a writing assignment in grade 4. I went home and I wrote and I rewrote and I rewrote again a story about a knight named after my heroic older cousin Johnny. Until finally, I had created a medieval masterpiece, something that was far too great to leave concealed under my bed. The only problem was, I found out I had to read this story in front of the class. I was no feisty knight. I was terrified. I felt like I was walking into a dungeon, exposed with no armor to protect me. I knew I was toast. I stood at the front of the room with the paper in front of my face to hide the tears as I tried to read this story. It was torture. But years later, I would remember that moment. And instead of feeling like toast, I would become a Toastmaster, slaying my fears of public speaking. I'm a serial hobbyist. And without writing, I would still be that scared kid hiding behind a piece of paper. Videography was a hobby of mine, so I went to college for it. And like most people who get an arts degree, I've done absolutely nothing with the skills I gained. And while I didn't meet any movie stars, I did meet someone who would become extremely influential in the screenplay of my life. He had an aura of positivity, a stride filled with confidence, and he was easy on the eyes. Everything I lacked and everything I wanted to become. It was the first day of class, and there I sat nervously at the back of the room. I wanted to be a social butterfly, but at that point in my life, I was still too afraid and stuck inside my cocoon. Until bang, the door bursts open, and in walks this enthusiastic, bombastic, and soon I would find out, fantastic guy. "What's up, everybody?" he said with a cool, charismatic swagger. You could tell men wanted to be him, and women wanted to be with him. He damn near floated to the front of the room. Or at least that's my recollection of it. I picked up my computer and I walked straight to the front of the class and sat next to him. "Hi, I'm Shia." I knew in that moment I had met my A-list mentor. From that day forward, he and I became inseparable, the best of friends. And with his blueprint, I gained confidence, I gained self-assurance, and a fair amount of popularity. I'm a serial hobbyist, and without videography, I wouldn't have become the social butterfly I am today. The culmination of these hobbies was Toastmasters. The confidence I had gained from Shia, mixed with the writing skills I had honed in secrecy, all coming together in perfect harmony to set me up for success. And boy, did I ever find it, in a magical place called Metro Speakers. As with all my hobbies, I went deep quickly, taking on club leadership roles in my first year, attending workshops held by speakers at the top of their game, all which gave me a suite of speaking skills. I was confident, I was charismatic, I was easy on the eyes, and I was ready to showcase it to the world. I was no longer that scared kid hiding behind a piece of paper. I signed up for the Tall Tale speech competition, a competition that I made it all the way to the finals. How did I place, you ask? Not even top 3. But I didn't even need to win to still get the greatest prize of my life. I met my life partner, the future mother of my children, and the greatest woman, next to my mom, that I have ever met. All from a hobby I did for only 3 years. I had speedrun the game of public speaking, beat the boss, and made it out with my princess. I'm a serial hobbyist, and without Toastmasters, I never would have met my wife. I'm a videographer, a writer, a painter, a ping-pong playing rock climber. And I'm proud to say I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. Without exploring these different hobbies, I never would have overcome my fear of public speaking, met my best friend, or my wife. Sure, I'll never win the international speech competition, or direct a Hollywood blockbuster. But I don't need to. Hobbies aren't just about mastering a skill. They're about opening your world to new possibilities, absorbing all that life has to offer, and finding yourself along the way. I'm a serial hobbyist, and fellow Toastmasters, you can be too. Woo!